Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tim Meyer, here for the Romeo Sports Recap, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. And before we begin, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm here with girls varsity tennis coach Matt Burr. And Matt, thanks for coming by and joining us here on the show.
Always a pleasure, Tim.
Let's start first off by talking about the girls varsity tennis team this year. I know last year you lost some key seniors. One being Jade Salvatore was one of them.
Our number one player. She's playing at Lawrence Tech right now.
Yeah. So, well, how did the team kind of cope with the loss of her and kind of mesh together into a...
Yeah, so her and Tristan Mia, who was our number one doubles player, that was our biggest losses. The great thing that we've had success in is depth. So when we lose a player, it's just next player up. So we had Alexa. She was our number 2 singles player, and she just jumped up to the number 1 spot. And then the Guzman sisters went from 3-4 to 2-3, and they didn't miss a beat. And at 4 singles, we brought up Gabby from the doubles, and she was phenomenal this year. And then doubles, we have so much doubles depth that our 5th and 6th doubles players can beat most players.
I play triples. I can't move that well.
Yeah, triple. Well, no, that would help you because you'd have 3 of you on the court. So
go get it. That would be me.
Yeah.
How about describing this team as far as, okay, you got it meshed together. How would you describe this team as far as if it had a personality, how would you describe it?
You know what? I won't describe it. I'll tell you how other coaches describe it. And it's just, they call them like Macomb hustle kind of thing. They just marvel at how our girls just never give up. They fight for every point. And that's one of the reasons that we're getting invites to play some of the top teams now in the state.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I've had the girls soccer, the girls softball, and I watched them both. They are, I don't know, is there something in the water up here in Romeo with the girls? I mean, they seem so much tougher and more tenacious than the guys.
It could be.
But they get great game faces and they go at it, man. They don't stop. Talk about some of the people on the team and those that made significant contributions to your squad this year.
You know what? I think it's a more question of who didn't make a significant contribution. Our team, our strength of our team is that we're strong at every flight. So when we play this team that's strong at, singles, we're going to beat them at doubles, and a team that's good at doubles, we're going to beat them at singles. We're just strong at every flight, and that's one of the reasons we qualified for states, because we have to get seated in every flight, basically at regionals to qualify for states, and we've been doing that for the last few years.
Anybody really surprise you this year with the way they contributed to the team?
I would say some of the girls that weren't on varsity last year or weren't starters. Tori moved from the bench and she moved up with Emma at 1 dubs. She had a really good time this season. Haley moved up from the bench and she was outstanding. Isabel and Dakota moved up from JV and they were, they all contributed. And I didn't know how much they would contribute until you actually see it in person.
Yeah.
So I was pleasantly surprised with that. We also had Eve move up from JV. We'll talk more about them as we get in the names.
Let's talk about them. I mean, let's talk about some of the contributions that these players made I know you've got some notes there, so I'll let you tell me a little bit about them.
All right, so our one single is Alexa.
Alexa Makovsky.
Yes. She was 13 and 14 this year, which is outstanding for a singles player. Having 13 wins means she's not only the best high school player in this high school, but she's the best player at 13 other high schools. So when you put it in perspective, that's an amazing record. She played some of the top players in the state this year, and she, she's one of those that never would give up. She battled at the end. And she had some pretty big wins over Troy, Ann Arbor, Huron, and Rochester. So.
Well, it's formidable competition there. They have good tennis players at those schools.
They do.
And who else?
Kayla de Guzman is our number 2 singles player. She's a senior, and she's here today. She had 16 wins. Big wins over Ann Arbor, Huron, Bloomfield Hills, and our nemesis, Port Huron Northern. So for her 4-year career, and she doesn't know this yet, she was 70 wins, 30 losses, and that's the most wins total of any Romeo player in the modern age. So, and I think of all time. So congratulations on that.
Oh, that's great. That's super. And who else? Her sister. You got a sister that played pretty well too.
She's outstanding. She's a couple years younger. She's just a sophomore. She had 17 wins this year. Big wins over Troy, Birmingham Grove. She was down big time in the second set and made a huge comeback, and then won it in a third set tiebreaker. And she beat Port Huron Northern.
That's fantastic. So she will be back next year, right?
She will. She's just a sophomore, just like Alexa. Alexa's just a sophomore.
Wow.
So these girls are really excelling at an early age,
and
which is good.
That's good for the future of the Romeo girls tennis team.
It is.
And Gabby Farnese.
Yeah, so Gabby has been a doubles player her first 2 years. She's a junior this year. She moved up to singles. She's our team MVP this year. She's 25 and 4. She had huge wins. She upset the number 4 seeded girl from Holland, West Ottawa at States this past Friday.
Around Grand Rapids area, isn't it? Somewhere.
It is, yeah, in Holland actually.
Yeah.
She beat Port Huron Northern twice. She beat Ike. She beat Ann Arbor Pioneers. She beat Bloomfield Hills. She beat Troy. She beat Birmingham Grove. She beat Rochester Adams. So she had just an outstanding season.
That's unbelievable. That's good. That's good news. He had two of them there, Emma and Tori. Emma Rosenau and Tori Weingarts did pretty well too. And
they did. It's really tough to be at one dubs. We play some of the toughest teams that have all the all-state level one doubles players. So they battled against the top ones, and they won the important matches that they had to. The biggest matches they had this year was really against L'Anse Creuse North, who's not one of the strongest teams, but they have a phenomenal doubles player, and she's got a pretty good partner, and they always give us trouble. And we went 3 sets in both one of those matches. The second one being in the at regionals. If we don't win that match, we don't go to state.
Does that help when girls get a tough match like that to go up against tougher competition?
Yeah, it always helps. Yeah. Because you don't improve unless you're facing the top competition. If you're facing easy matches, you're going to get shell-shocked when you play the top teams. And Emma and Tori had a big win. They beat Bloomfield Hills at States.
And Emma got a sister, Christina.
She does. Christina, and Belle is her partner right over there. Belle was actually Emma's partner last year.
Let me see if I can Badalamante.
Yeah. Did he do that good?
Yeah,
perfect.
Perfect. And I'll have pepperoni and cheese. My Badalamante. Like a pizza.
So the two of them had a fantastic season. Christina was injured for some of it, so she missed a couple of weeks, and Belle played with Isabel for a while. So as a team, they were 13 and 4, which was good enough to get
impressive.
It's pretty impressive. They earned the 6th seed at the state tournament, and they actually kept that seed, so they were at the end of the year they were the sixth best team. Two of their losses was against Ike and Northville, and those were the two teams that faced each other in the finals. Belle, for the season though, she was 22-6 with Isabel and Christina, and for her career she was 65-20, which is outstanding.
I wish I could be 65-20 and something.
Yeah.
Tiddlywinks, anything,
Yeah.
Bocce ball, I don't care. And Anna Wesley and Mary Wesley, these are, I'm assuming, two sisters.
They are, and it's very evident when they're on their courts because they either love each other or they don't love each other. But they had a very strong season. They were 16-13. They had big wins over Ann Arbor, Huron, Stony Creek. They beat them both twice. It's funny because their best performance was at the Ann Arbor Pioneer Quad, where they actually lost all three matches, but all three matches went to a third set tiebreaker, and they lost by like 2 points each. It was one of those things where they played great and they just came up short.
You had Haley and Isabel. Haley Warborn and Isabel Anderi, right?
Yes. They kind of came together in the second half of the season, and they went 12-3. And like my two doubles, they were seeded 6 at states. And they had big wins over Ann Arbor Pioneer and Bluefield Hills. And they had some very close 3-set matches that they almost pulled out.
Oh. And you have 3 here, 4 of them left here. Dakota Rotman, she looked like she had a pretty good record too.
She is. Dakota was one of the JV girls up. She's got a ton of potential. I'm really excited about her taking over one of the starting spots next year. She was Haley's partner for a while, but when Christina came back, it kind of pushed Isabel down and kind of pushed Dakota out, which is unfortunate because she had done everything that we had asked her to do, and she and Haley would have been seated at regionals, but it's just you just have to make hard decisions.
Yeah.
And then we have Eve Eschenberg, who she was kind of did everything for us. She was 5-0 in singles for us this year, and 8-6 in doubles.
It's nice to go undefeated in your place.
It's nice, yeah. The last one, she was bumped up to 3 singles to play St. Clair, and she just did great.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And Hannah and another sister combination. How do you get these sister combinations?
Yeah.
Usually they want to kill each other, but some of them.
Well, those two sometimes do too. But they were very good. Hannah is a senior, so this was the first time on varsity, so it was great for her to get so many matches in. Yeah. She was 9-2 with her sister, and she had 15 wins overall for the season, which is pretty good.
Kayla was a freshman, right?
No, Kayla is a sophomore. She played JV for us and came up. She's got, she's on the volleyball team. You've had her on the show.
I think I remember her.
Yeah, she was the quiet one next to Christina.
Yeah, I think I remember that. But she kind of opened up a little bit.
Well, you bring out the best.
Yeah, sometimes I tell my wife.
So she'll be coming back next year. And if you see, we only have 3 seniors that were starters and Hannah. So most of the team is...
That bodes well for next year.
It does. It does.
Let me ask you first, run down. I see you guys got these nice shirts on. Run down the postseason play. Where did you guys finish? How did it go?
So we had a really great season overall. We finished 14-5. And because of that, we had good seeding at regionals, and we won the matches that we needed to win. Gabby clinched it for us, beating Port Huron Northern, and then once we clinch it, we we don't necessarily play the strongest because we're happy.
Yeah.
So we finished right at 18 points, which was a requirement that you had to have. States was at Byron Center High School, which is just south of Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
They have a beautiful facility there. And it's tough. It's tough at States.
Well, I mean, you're going up against the best in the state. I mean, and it's, I mean, I don't know that kids probably get a little nervous. Maybe they get sometimes in their head how good these other girls are, or,
It happens.
It's only human.
It definitely happens. The good news is that we ended up with 7 points, which is the second most we've had in Romeo history, and we finished 13th.
Well, that's not bad.
No, it's pretty good.
When you look at all the schools that play,
and 3 of our losses was against Northville, and they were the champs. They beat out your old school, Ike, by 1 point.
1 point, huh?
So Ike was, it's been bridesmaid 2 years in a row.
I'll have to talk to them over there.
Yeah.
Straighten it out now.
Straighten it out.
How'd you guys do in the league this year?
The league, we finished 3rd.
Yeah.
Which last year we finished 2nd. We just had a close loss to Grosse Pointe South. We did much better when we played them in a scrimmage to prepare for states, but on that day they had the best of us.
Yeah.
We'll get them back next year. We had beaten them the 2 years prior. So it's strong. We beat Port Huron Northern for the first time ever. So that was very gratifying.
That is because I remember we talked about this the last time you were here, and I was asking who were the toughest teams, and you did tell me that Port Huron Northern was a formidable opponent.
Yeah, it's been Port Huron Northern and Ike.
Yeah,
and we've passed by Port Huron Northern. They're going to be a little bit down for a few years, I think, before they catch back up.
Well, I'm looking at your lineup, and it looks like you've got a lot of youth coming up, and some youth with experience.
Yeah, and we have some really good players on the JV level. We had a few of them come up and play. We had Lauren Cross came up and played in a couple of weekend tournaments for us. And she's going to be moving up to the varsity next year, competing for a starting position.
That's going to be great. I was real excited when I was printing out the lineup and the years of when these kids are graduating. It looks like it's very promising for next year.
Last year's class was our best class ever as far as depth and quality. So we're looking good.
Do you think this next year's team can come up to that mark?
It can. It's Ike is going to be a monster again next year. Stony Creek's going to be tough. So it's going to be tough to qualify for states again. But we can do it. But 2027, we're going to be looking really good because I have some middle school kids coming up during that period that are really good.
Geez, the kids these days, I mean, even in high school, and they just seem to be so much like they come out of the womb and they're swinging the racket and they're ready to go, and if they got that ability.
Yeah, I don't know if we have that many at Romeo.
Yeah.
A lot of them touch the racket for their first time when they join the middle school team or the JV team. But we get them trained up. And of course, our team, we have a lot of athletes on the team.
Yeah.
So that kind of
that helps a little bit.
It's the blend of top level tennis players and the athletes.
Well, that's one of the things that happened to me. I was not the athlete I was supposed to be, and that's why I always sat on the bench and got burrs.
One of the new things we did this year is the school bought us cameras. So we have 8 cameras for all the courts. And I'm sure you're familiar with Huddle.
Yes.
So we upload team highlights on Huddle, and we have all the individual highlights for each player on Huddle. And we're hoping that, it gets, help out there for recruiting and such. So that's kind of exciting.
Nothing I had in my day. We didn't, we had the 8mm movies. So black and white. Well, Coach, appreciate it. Congratulations on a nice season. Yep. You guys did really well. You got the shirts to prove it. And I'm hoping for next year it'll even be better. So, best of luck to you next year.
All right, Tim, and I'll see you in the boys' season.
Yes, you will. We'll be back to talk to some of those tennis players right after this.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors.
This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Now back to the show. And welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap. I'm here with girls varsity tennis players Anna Wesley, Kayla de Guzman, and Isabella Badalamenti. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, girls, congratulations on a nice little season you had there.
Thank you.
And if the folks out there who are watching the podcast notice, you have the T-shirts to prove it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the season, that some memories that stuck out in your mind. So, Anna, go ahead. What memories stick out in your mind?
I think like this year, different from others, we did a lot of stuff like off the court. Starting the season, we did like team dinners, and we went and got ice cream a few times together. I think the team.
What kind of ice cream did you get?
We went to Culver's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Straight vanilla?
What?
Straight vanilla then, right?
Reese's.
Ooh. That's an insulin shot for me.
Yeah, I just think like overall like our team dynamic was really strong this year, and everyone like had like really close relationships with their teammates.
So you could kind of built a good camaraderie, right?
Yeah.
And how about you, Isabella?
I kind of have to say the same thing. I feel like in the past too, I guess, at least for me, I felt like the singles players and the doubles players kind of were on their own teams. But this year it felt like, especially like it was one team. And I thought that was really nice.
That makes for good camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. And Kayla, tell me a little bit about your thoughts about a memory this year that, stands out in your mind.
No, I agree with Val. Like, the singles players and the doubles players, especially because during tournaments we were separated. We didn't really bond together as much in the past, but this year we stayed for each other's matches, and we made sure to watch and support every one of us, which was really important for team camaraderie.
That's good. It's nice to have support. I wish I had that for my parents and my wife, but I don't. So that's the way it goes. So who's your toughest opponent? That you played as well.
Either Ike or Northville. Ike was good. Northville, they're just loud. So I think that's a lot of
So you
it.
wanted to hit him over the head with your racket after it was over?
Yeah.
What do you say to somebody? Well, first, what do they say to you when they beat you? Or what do you say to them when you beat them when you get to the net?
I always just say nice game. Sometimes they're a little snarky. You can kind of just ignore it though.
Yeah.
Especially if you lose, you just want to get out of there. Those girls especially, I just wanted to leave. But I mean, like, it's not that bad. Most of the time people are polite, so it's nice.
Except Northville.
Yeah.
They're loud. And Eisenhower must be a little arrogant, right?
What? Sorry.
Did you say Eisenhower was arrogant?
I mean,
They can back some of it up, but
a little bit. I mean, they're good, so they kind of deserve it. So.
yeah. And how about you, Kayla? What? I bet you're probably mean out there.
In the situation I can be, but it gets competitive. I'd say my toughest opponent was Rochester Adams. I played her last year. I lost like in an hour. And then this year I played her again twice, once during the season, once during states. And I lost pretty quickly, but she's a really nice player, which made it even harder to, be competitive. And I'd also say Ann Arbor Huron was a tough match. The first set, she beat me really quick, like 6-2. And then the second set, I was down pretty bad, and then I made a comeback, and then I won the second set 7-5, and then the tiebreaker 10-8, and that match took like 2 hours and a half. So it was a tough match.
well.
I would say
Who's tough?
this year one of the toughest teams we played was Eisenhower. Like we just always have like the rivalry there, so it's like a tough match going into it, a tough mindset. They're a good team. I like you can't like say anything besides that. They deserve it. But then we also played Troy twice. We played them at a quad. We took them to a third set tiebreaker, and they just came out on top with the 2 points they needed. And then we played them again in states, and they beat us there. So I would say Troy and Ike were our two hardest matches.
Tell me, what part of your game are you pleased with that you improve? Your backhand, your forehand, your serve?
I would say like my net play, like as a doubles player. In the past few seasons, I stayed like majority like up at the net, and I would always have like a strong back player to like back me. This year, me and my sister played it like pretty evenly. We would both volley, both hit from the baseline and stuff. But I would say like definitely like poaching overheads and putting
That'd be
away
pretty
volleys.
quick if you go to the net, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that ball's going to come fired at you there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
better be able to move fast. I would do this in front of my face or something. Because, I have a face for television and a body for radio. So, how about you, Isabella? What part of your game are you pleased with that improved?
I guess for me, serving, because in the past I could get really stressed about just getting it in, and this year I felt like I didn't struggle with that as much because I double faulted a lot in the past, especially like my sophomore year. There was points where I just kept double faulting, which is basically just losing the point, and I'm happy that that improved this year.
That's I hated that.
Yeah.
They used to call me Timmy Double Fault, but it wasn't my fault. But I did learn how to do it, so I served underhand like badminton or something. No, I know that your game is very strong. You had no improvement at all this year. You're always good, right? No?
I'd say more of my mental game than my shots. In the past, I used to get really mad like really easily, and you could tell just by looking.
Did you ever
at
throw
them.
your racket? Because I do that all
No,
the time.
but I hit.
I'm kidding.
I hit on myself. I have a few bruises.
Oh,
Um,
ouch.
but this year, I really focused on staying focused and being positive, which helped me come back a lot during the tough matches.
Did your boyfriend come out and watch you play?
I have a boyfriend.
Uh-oh. Did yours?
I don't have a boyfriend.
Did yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
You did? Well, that's good. That was it. Did it help when he was in the
I don't
stands?
know if it made me more stressed out or helped, but
Oh,
it was nice. It was nice to have the support.
yeah, that's always great. Tell me a little bit about what you girls like to do when tennis isn't in tennis season. And, when you get home, you want to relax and get away from it all. Isabella, what do you like to do that's not tennis?
Tennis is my main sport. So, I mean, besides that though, I was in marching band, I guess. If that counts, that was something else I did
What
in school.
instrument did you play?
I played the trumpet.
Oh,
Yeah,
you practice at home?
sometimes.
Your parents leave when you practice, or do they stay?
I don't practice enough for that. So,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, you're pretty good at it?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I was in marching band. I was section leader, so that was cool.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. That's a good thing. And how about you, Kayla? What do you like to do besides that?
Normally, when I'm not playing tennis, I'm studying at home. Because I go to the International Academy. But other than that, I'm in a few clubs at school. I'm the president of the Filipino club. I participate in HOSA, other clubs like that.
So how does that work? You academically, you're at the International Academy,
Yes.
and then you can join clubs at Romeo. I mean, obviously you're playing tennis here, so that's a possibility.
Yes, you do sports at your home school. So I have a friend, does play for Romeo. And then I know a couple of my classmates who have done sports for Romeo, like baseball. So it's kind of hard because it's 30 minutes away. So after school, I would just have to like rush out the parking lot, drive up to Romeo, and then
Oh
play.
man. Well, international school is pretty tough, so it's pretty. You're a valedictorian. You're too smart for me to talk to. You're gonna make me into a dummy over there if I already am not. How about you, Anna? What do you want to do? I know you got a boyfriend, so that's one thing.
Yeah. When I'm not playing tennis, I'm doing a lot of I'm really involved in my school as well. I'm a big part of our rec club that we have at Romeo. I play basketball and golf too. So I'm always busy with something. But
Always something going on, and what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a physical therapist when I grow up.
Did we talk about that before?
I think so.
You haven't changed.
No.
Oh, that's good. That means you're pretty focused and set on that. That's good. How about you, Isabella?
I'm not entirely sure. Right now I'm kind of on a law track, but that could totally change in the future.
You get arrested a few times, and that's got you on the law track?
No, I was a part of mock trial. That's kind of why, yeah.
Oh, you like that, huh?
Yeah.
You watch the law shows on TV and everything?
Sometimes,
too?
yeah.
Yeah, I hate lawyers.
It's okay.
They're never on my side. How about you?
I want to become a physician assistant.
A PA?
Yes.
So that's nursing school, and what else? Then we got to get a
So
master's?
at Detroit Mercy, they have a 5-year program, so I'd get my bachelor's in bio in 3 years, and then my master's in physician assistant studies in 2. So make it faster.
Why do you want to go so fast? Don't you want to enjoy college and drink beer and?
Physician assistant school is very hard to get into, so I thought this program would give me the guarantee. So.
My daughter's a registered nurse, and so I know the program. She went to Oakland, so I know it's tough. You got to study and know your stuff too. Well, ladies, I appreciate you stopping by the show and visiting with us, and congratulate you on a nice season this year, and wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here on the Romeo Sports Recap. We'll see you next time right here on the Mitt TV.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of the Romeo Sports Recap Show, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. You can subscribe to the Mitt TV YouTube page and click the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Romeo Sports Recap. Or you can find us on Spotify and follow our podcast, Romeo Sports Recap. From the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer, signing off with a final word from our sponsors.
This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com.